So, hello everyone. Happy to see you all join this Learning Friday. I'll have to ask all of you to keep your microphones mute during all the presentation. And if you have any questions, please leave them in comment section. We will answer them after the presentation. So I'm Gilvinas at PHH Group. I'm responsible for financial services of Marketplace, these services development and support. Overall, financial services, loans, factoring are widely used often even in the largest businesses in the market. These investments and services are used to increase investments to new inventory systems, operation installments, good purchases before seasons and intense periods, and also for all kind of other investments. So why did PHH Group start to offer these services? Financial services have been introduced because our sellers name that finances can be one of the main reasons that holds them from scaling. If you know that extra money might help scale your business, you have an option to reach out to us, and we, with our partners, might help you with these services and the services that will be presented today. Yeah, so we started to offer financial services only since last November, but we can already see that the service scales and more sellers are using these services and using the money that they are getting to increase their sales and scale their business. While we were looking for a partner, we did a thorough investigation and to the market and choose our partner that are experienced, has deep knowledge in the services, stable, and at the same time flexible. So Paulus from Factora will present today about these services, what we are currently offering. Paulo, thank you for joining and preparing your presentations. You can start with it.
Okay, Gilvina, thank you for your warm introduction. I will try to share my screen now. I think that you can see my screen now, no?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Let's start. As Gilvin mentioned, my name is Paul. I'm responsible for this project, and I'm very grateful for the good team that they, together with our company, has decided to develop this financing solution for marketplace sellers on their platform. And today I want to talk more in a broad way about what funding options do you have, what funding options do businesses have, how they can use them, and of course about the Pico marketplace funding options that are available to sellers. So quick overview, I'll talk about financing market, then I will go on with the Factora and what services do we offer in general. Then I will talk about how additional financing can help your business and your brand maybe to grow. And I will also talk about other SME financing instruments that you can take advantage of. And later on, I will talk about, I will try to answer these questions: how much the funding costs, how to know whether it is beneficial for my company to use additional funding, and so on. And in the end, I will try to answer any questions that you may have. So starting with the financing market. So the first word, I think, and institution that comes into your mind when I say financing, banks. This is quite usual, and I do believe that you have used a lot of bank services personally and also through your companies. You all have the bank accounts and so on. How about the lending? So we have to admit that the lending price and the interest rates are the lowest in the banks. However, what the banks do not have is the flexibility. They do not have speed, and they only finance the big or medium big companies. So if you have just started or you're working for a few years and you need more money to grow, or there can be plenty of reasons why banks don't want to finance your company, then you have to choose other options. There are some credit unions and other credit institutions that you can also go and try to get a loan. However, they often are way more expensive. They are still slow, and they cannot provide you the flexibility and speed. You can also use personal funds, and I do believe that most people have started their businesses with the funds from their personal bank accounts. However, in the long run, this is not a very smart option, as it is not smart to borrow from your friends or family. And our recommendation would be to try to separate companies and personal funds. So there we have one option left, that is alternative funding. This sector has been developing since 2016, and we have been working in the sector since then. What we can offer is the speed, flexibility, very flexible solutions like the one that I will present later on with Pigu. And also we can sometimes not only provide fast funding, but also the cheap one. So in general, we are an alternative business financing platform that adapts to the needs of SMEs. We are very flexible. We try to develop our products as the needs or the situation in the market changes. So we try to always be in front of the line regarding the financial products and what we can offer. We have our self-service system where you can just log in. First, you need to sign up, then you can log in. You can fill in an application form, sign it with Smart ID or electronic signature, and we are in like 24 hours, you get your contracts of factoring or loan and the money. So now we were working for like 5 years. We have financed more than 350 clients in all Baltic states. Most of them are in Lithuania as of today. And we have financed more than 15,000 invoices worth more than 150 million. And we have issued 6 million in loans, as we have just started offering loans like a year ago. So generally, there are two types of funding that can be provided by Factora. I will start by from factoring. However, the loan is more usual to everybody, but I will start with factoring, as I think that this is the best funding option for e-commerce businesses. It's very beneficial for trade companies, as the funding increases together with your revenue. So the more you sell, the bigger funding you have. So you always have your backup. Factoring also does not require any collaterals, so you don't have to pledge any assets, real estate, or inventory to get funded. Also, factoring is available to both large and micro enterprises. I'm like 90% sure that 90% of the companies, of the large companies, are using factoring. So, but like 5 years ago till now, micro companies, small companies, medium companies can all start using factoring. It's available to them as it was not available 5 years ago. And factoring is a very flexible funding solution, as you only pay for the amount that you're using. For example, maybe in some month or before Christmas or before Easter or just any other months, you need more funding, or you need funding just in those months. So you can finance the invoice, meaning that you sell the invoice to the factoring company, and you can get funding when you need it and pay just for the amount that you're using. And the pricing starts from 0.6 and it goes up. However, I will talk about the pricing more later on. Now, going back to loans. Loans are a more usual product, and I do believe that when you're thinking of funding, you're thinking of the loan. However, I would say that this is an alternative solution and not the prime one for trade companies, for e-commerce businesses, as it is not as flexible, it is not as convenient as factoring. However, in some cases, it is also very beneficial for you. So loans are usually require pledge of assets, so that could be real estate. However, I will talk about it more later, but we have one program where you can get a loan without pledge of assets. Also, this is true that you need a credit history. So the company should be working for a year or more. You have to have some history. You can't have delayed debts and so on. Also, financial institutions doesn't know are you using the money or not. You just borrowed, you got it into your bank account, and you have to pay the interest for the full amount. So in many cases, it's more expensive than factoring. This is the types of factoring that Factoro is providing. So I'm mostly talking about the open classical factoring, that is just like selling of your invoices to the financial institution. But we also do provide services like silent factoring, where you can finance your invoice without your buyer, your debtor, knowing that you are using additional funding. We also can offer purchase order financing. So it's the financing of orders to your suppliers in case you have a contract with a debtor. So we just pay to your suppliers, you get your goods, you deliver them to the buyer, and then we get the full amount from your buyer. So it's very convenient if you don't have a lot of working capital, but you know that you can you have a good supplier, you have a contract, so you want to make business. Also, we do provide export factoring, and we take all the risk of a customer's insolvency, so you can sleep tight because we have you covered. We take all the risk for factoring. And now I'll talk about how does factoring normally work and what is the journey. So you just your company issues an invoice. The invoice being sent to the buyer and to Factoro. The buyer also need to deliver the goods or the services. On the invoice, we write a short note that this claim rights are being transferred to financial institution, in this case Factoro. So then we validate the invoices, and buyer confirms the invoice. Then we pay you up to 90% of the invoice amount. So you have working capital, you can focus on your business, pay the taxes, buy new goods, pay salaries. After the invoice term, for example, 30 or 60 days, the buyer pays the invoice to Factoro's bank account. Then we take our fee and transfers the remaining balance to you. What are the benefits of factoring? So the first and most obvious one is more working capital. So as we finance your invoices, you can pay your bills, salaries, pay to your suppliers, have more goods, and so on. So you can increase your sales. Also, you get some bargaining power. You can negotiate with your debtors that you get better terms, lower fees, and better price because you can provide longer payment terms. You don't need money that quickly. Also, it gives stability to your company. You're no longer worried about working capital. You can concentrate on the growing your business. And now I want to present to you the most, I think, important part to you. That is financing through Pigu e-commerce platform and the special product that we, together with Pigu, have developed. So you sell the goods on the e-commerce platform. On the same platform, you can choose your financing option. Under additional services, you press just get a quote button. Then the special kind of report are being generated with your acceptance and sent to us, so we know how much how much revenue are you doing in the last several months. So then you are being transferred to our self-service platform where you sign up and fill the application form. You get up to 90% of the sum that is on your Pigu account. And if that's okay, we can sign the agreement. And then, of course, you get the money after agreements are signed. And the process can be repeated as many times as you need, as many times as you want. It can be used month by month. It can be used just once, and so on. So to make it more clear to you, I will make an example. So imagine that in the middle of the month, you sell the goods for in the amount of 40,000 euros through this marketplace. We fund your business. So we transfer up to 36,000 euros to your bank account in one working day. When the term comes, as it is written on your agreement, it can differ from time to time. It's just an example. So Pigu then pays to Factoro bank account on the specific date. Then we deduct the financing fee, that is approximately 1% of all amount funded, and transfer this balance, this remaining funds to you within 24 hours. So you always have money to use for your business. So these are the main benefits that this product can offer. So you can purchase products in bulk. You can be more competitive as you have more products and you are prepared for the big sales events, and you can offer a lot of goods to your customers. Also, you can expand your product lines, meaning that you can start offering more products as you have now more working capital. Also, you can use that money to reach more customers by advertising or promotion. So I think it's really beneficial and it's crucial for e-commerce business. If you have used all your factoring limit, so you can't get more factoring, or for any other circumstances you cannot, factoring is not okay with you, you can always use our loan services. So you can take a loan without any collateral. This works because we have collaborated with European Investment Fund to finance small businesses and in Baltic states. But the main thing that your company has to have less than 10 employees, and your turnover and assets should be up to 2 million euros. Also, we do have to assess your risk. So your annual turnover has to be at least 100,000. Your company has to be established for at least 6 months, and your company's profits are sufficient to cover the loan, meaning that taking your EBITDA, so if we take the principal amount and the interest of a loan and deduct it from your EBITDA, you still have to be profitable. So we would know that you will be able to cover the loan. We can disburse this loan for a duration from 3 months to 2 years, and the total funding amount can be up to 50,000 euros for one company. And I think it's really beneficial, and this European Investment Fund program enables us to fund even the smallest companies. And now let's back to these questions. What financing is right for my company? How do I know that financing is beneficial to me? Is financing expensive? So I want to start with the thing that you always need to look at your exact situation. There is no such thing as cheap or expensive. You have to look whether with additional funding you can do more business and you can make more profits and more revenue than without it. If you can make more money, have more customers, and be more profitable while using additional funding for the price that it's being offered, then you should obviously use it. However, if you see that the funding costs are too high for your business, so you're not as profitable, then maybe you should not. Factoring is very flexible, as you can use it anytime when you need it, and only the times when you need it, and you only pay for the time for the funds that you use. So on loans, it's quite different. Also, you have to have in mind a very important thing, that it's because of our collaboration, some smaller businesses can now get access to funding. They were unable to get this funding before, but because of this collaboration, because of the sales reports that we get from the marketplace, we can assess your risk in a smarter way, and that means that you can use additional funding and grow. And factoring is available to almost every seller on the marketplace. The loans are not, because some companies are too big for these loans, and some companies are just too small for now. So thank you very much. If you have any more questions, I would be happy to answer them.
So feel free to contact us anytime, and thank you for participating.